Including you is our community tree. Share with us and you will see that your concerns and problems too are shared by people like me and you. A place where you can be yourself, so leave the label on the shelf, identify what you have to offer to make our world a better place for others. So this is just our brief interview with Lou Woods in Manchester and 9 Anthea Fenton. Lou, I'm just going to ask you some questions really about your life after, and we haven't come to a label yet, but hopefully we'll be able to get a bit of a sense of your life really, because what we were saying is that Including You is a charity, and what we ask for is what do people have to offer, and part of that is telling their story. And so we'd love for you to share with us your story, which obviously helps with lots of your hope and your vision for the future. Okay, so I'm just going to read some little bits out, and then I just want to maybe ask you some questions and see how. So one of the things that we talk about is happiness and the pursuit of happiness. And one of the things that I'd wrote was, we are taught to strive for everything in life. Work hard and you will achieve. All which we strive for is external to us, as we know. There's jobs, money, car, lifestyles, fitting in, families, friends, etc. Yet all of these things do they lead to happiness? So in your lifetime, your pursuit of happiness, there came many changes. So you obviously experienced your life as you experienced it, and then some changes happened. What changes happened for you?
Well, obviously it was to do with the illness of my grandson 3 years ago.
What year was that?
2009.
Okay, so that's when the big changes came about. And how did they affect you as a grandmother?
Well, they did affect me straight away, obviously, because my daughter then, she was expecting a baby. And when Cameron, my eldest grandson, was diagnosed with cancer, it was a week after little Liam Luca was born.
Right, a week after.
A week after.
And how did you hear that news?
I remember so well that it was a Saturday. I was at home, and Luca was back from the hospital, and my daughter rang me and said, "Mom, we need you to come to the house to look after Luca." By then, Cameron had the biopsy, which was a Monday, and it was a Saturday, which it was a Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. And obviously I just had a knot in my throat, because I just knew that something wasn't right. So when I got there, they rushed to the hospital. They were going to the hospital and to hear the results, and they spent all day. So when they came back, they just set us down, and obviously it's like very heartbreaking, and because I have to be strong for my daughter and her husband.
So Cameron obviously had some symptoms beforehand.
Yes, he did.
What was some of his symptoms that he had?
He had a lump on the side of his neck, and it kept growing, and he did go to the doctors, and they gave him antibiotics, and they said it was nothing. And at the time, obviously, Cameron was well, and he looked well, and with cancer, most times there's no pain. Obviously, so they kept giving him antibiotics, and it went on for a couple of months, and that's when we thought, no, go for second opinion, and then they sent him to Children's Hospital. That's when, one of the pediatricians says straight away, I need him to come in, for biopsy straight away,
So it changed, because we're going to talk about health a little bit more, and so in terms of, that must have been quite chaotic time.
It was very chaotic. It was, because it was it changed. It wasn't raining; it was pouring.
Yeah.
Bear in mind we just had a new baby. My daughter had a cesarean.
Good gracious.
And the baby had a bit of complications. So the baby was born on Thursday, and he had to stay until Monday. And Monday, it was the day that Cameron went in for the biopsy. So it was like between hospitals. So, and Cameron went with his stepdad to the hospital. And then we waited for the results on a Saturday. And that's when we had a phone call. So it was a very chaotic time because it was about me having to split myself from different angles and really being there emotionally, physically, and making sure that, you know, that everything was running okay. You know, from a mother who her emotions would be split between the two boys.
Horrendous.
It was a horrendous time.
So when you think that, you know, just putting it into perspective, when we talk about this pursuit of happiness and we're told to strive hard and to achieve everything in life, where does all that go when such a crisis happens like that?
It was a pause.
Mm.
It was a pause. At that time, it's just about just taking one day at a time.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even know exactly what kind of a cancer it was and how far it had gone. And there's all those big question marks. And bear in mind that, you know, when they talk about cancer, you know, there's fears attached to it, uncertainties. So happiness and everything else, it was like, that was a pause. It was just about just one day at a time, you know, and the unfortunate thing that again then it was like the joy of the birth of the new baby, it was overshadowed by the coming situation.
And if you had to go back over that time again, look back and to think of what could have eased that situation if there was anything?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. I mean, but I will tell you this, in all that was going on, the only thing that it kept me sane was my faith. And that it kept me sane, it kept me, I never said why.
No.
At that time it was like, I need to get my family through this. You know, and obviously prayers went around, you know, all over UK, in Brazil, you know, Portugal, different places where, you know, the Portuguese language communities. And I knew that there's a lot of people who were praying. But nevertheless, this journey, it was just me and my family in this boat. So if I had to look back, the only thing I would say is that I had to be the pillar. I had to be the pillar. I knew where I was getting my strength from. Day to day. But my children were just like looking unto me really. You know, Mom, we don't know what to do.